Hi, this video is not going to be one of those videos about what you have to do, what you have to master, what you have to learn in order to be a better composer. There are many videos about this type of thing, and actually this is the reason I'm doing this video, because I had to say something about it. I've seen videos like the only scale you need, stop using chords, or how to master modes. It's okay, it's just opinions. Of course, this is my opinion, so it's fine. But I don't see many videos about talking about the true nature of composing. And I had to say something about it, because there is one skill that I believe any composer should master, which is to me the only tool we actually need. Well, actually you have to always please yourself. That's very, very important. If you please yourself, you're in the right direction. You should care about pleasing yourself rather than pleasing others. This is basic. This is about divergent thinking. Before I get into talking about divergent thinking, I want to just show you a little example of that. And I want to pick a very simplistic thing, maybe a D major, like a major progression, something very simple, exactly to put aside all these possibilities of you have to use modes and special chords and special... No, I want to take something really, really trivial to illustrate this point. So I want to show you a little bit of my process, how I work. I'm going to pick something that I wrote some years ago. I remember to have faced this exactly situation, trying to look for something that is divergent. We'll see. So I have a little D major here, is something that I did some years ago, but I'm trying to replicate the situation that I found myself at that time. And I had this D major. I want to move forward with something different. Right, so yes, it's very simplistic. I usually start just by putting some piano and bass just to have some base for what I'm trying to do. And then I will just follow my instinct. And my instinct was the worst possible. I tried to resolve the progression. I say it was the worst possible because I didn't even think at the time. I simply added as the simple consequence of having a very simplistic triad sequence. And then, of course, I didn't like it. I said, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this ethereal sensation of going outside, yet having something that is pleasing. So I started to look for something that was weird enough to say, oh, this is out. I will start looking for it. And you see, like, these notes are pretty outside. They don't look like a D major at all. I don't even look to the left bar to see what I'm playing. That's why I keep saying the mouse is powerful in that regard. I'm just using my intuition and my ears to say, okay, this is not compatible with D major, so it's good. And at this point, I had something that was weird enough. I said, yeah, this is not normal, and this is good. Okay, and then that's the part that's actually things get interesting. So I started to do some arrangement on top of this. This is what I got, just doing some movements, just to adding some flourish only in the piano part. And I don't have to say, after some hours of work, I actually had this. Okay, so let's recap the original progression. And then I start chasing the notes. I end up having this. And then I started doing arrangements. And then with some more work, I actually did the whole arrangement, put voice and everything. I got having this, which is what I was looking for. It's not atonal, it's not dodecaphonic, but it was out. It was something that I was looking for. The first sequence that I did was like changing from yellow to orange, and now I'm changing from yellow to pink. It's something that creates the contrast, creates the color change that I'm looking for. it's good to my ears. That's what I was looking for. And it started by simply looking to something that was not conformant with the initial progression that I did. Right, so what happened here? I know it's very simplistic. I said that before. I wanted to work in something absolutely trivial, like a D major chord. I have this intuitive needs. I couldn't describe in words. The best thing I can say is like I had something that was yellow and I want to change it to something that was pink instead of going to orange, which is kind of a yellow. So I wanted to have this thing that I couldn't describe in words. And it makes sense that I cannot describe in words because it's not verbal language, it's not words, it's music. You cannot describe properly music with words. I could say, yes, the first D to G was yellow, and then when I modulated to F sharp, it was pink. It's fine, it's a way to describe it. Also, all these theories, modes and chords and progressions and all this naming stuff is also a thing to describe something. It's not the tool to create that something. Every time I see someone say, oh, I want to write something Lydian, why do you have to preset the goal as the tool you're going to use to reach something? Why not simply reaching that something and then you go back and see what you used to have that something? It might not be even important. I have some things that I wrote. I have a particular piece of symphony that I find myself looking to that thing and trying to play. I don't know what I did. Like what the heck I did, I don't even know. And that's not important because it sounds so pleasant to me and so unique to my ears. People don't agree. That's okay. I am trying to please myself, remember? So I don't care if it's some particular piece of music theory that I applied there. It doesn't matter. What matters is this. As I showed in the example, I search for the thing that was in my head. And then when I found it, so yeah, that's what I wanted. And then I had different layers of polishing that thing, of making this more attractive. But the core of the idea was that particular negation of the D major. It was not driven by some particular theory. I don't even know what drives that. Yeah, you can talk about, oh, what you did is the third, it doesn't matter. The only thing that I actually used to achieve that thing was just divergent thinking. Okay, I don't want this. I want something weird. Let me look for it. And that's the only tool I use. That's the only tool I need. You can't search in the piano. You can search in your instrument, of course. But if you do that, you are under the risk that your hands are being dictated by years of practicing that instrument, because your muscles and they are conditioned to do some particular movements that you instinctively are going to do. And when you find something that your hand found, not your head. When you use this, you have just the sound. And I don't even look to the left bar to see what I'm actually doing. And when I find the sound, let's say when I find the harmony, if you will, it's not harmony because I am actually contradicting what I have. So it's a disharmony, if you will. It's okay. That's it. Let me arrange this. Let me improve it. Let me shape it. That's what I want to say here. If you have this raw feeling about some color, some passages, some melody, something, and you learn how to search for that and translate that into an arrangement later and an instrumentation, because you can actually apply the same raw idea in different type of compositions. You can put that in a score, you can write that for a quartet, you can do different things with the raw idea. If you develop this particular skill, you're fine. Should you know theory? Should you know all these things about scales and chords and modes? And yes, of course. Why not? It's good to describe what you did, but it's not important. And you're gonna say, yeah, but if I'm searching for something and I don't have the proper intuition, the raw idea in my head, then I'm gonna find something that's trivial and not unique at all. Yes, absolutely true. It's not only about training your divergent thinking, it's about creating a different spectrum of perception of what's nice, pretty much, what's nice to your ears. If you hear basic stuff, your raw ideas are going to be basic stuff. But if you expand your spectrum of what you perceive as nice, as good, as pleasant, then your raw ideas might be also part of that spectrum. So you have to increase this spectrum by listening to different things. Stravinsky and Mahler and Bach and pop and jazz and good jazz and good pop, bad pop. Listen to noises. Like go somewhere that are very noisy and start to listen to those noises as music. And start to amplify your perception of what's cool. By doing that, when you try to find some raw idea that you have there, you have been also conditioned in your head to hear your new crazy weird modulation as something cool. And I'm gonna talk about this a lot. It's all about memory. If you keep listening to that weird thing many times, you get affection by that thing and it will become nice to you. And that's where the uniqueness can happen. Thanks for watching. I didn't plan this video much. I was just a little, what? I need to say something about this stop using chords type of video. I might do some new videos about this. If you like this type of approach and you want to know a little more about these things, I want some new videos about some topic, just give me a like, send a message, make a comment, and I'll make a video. And yeah, why not? Thank you.